Chapters 1 through 5 of the Didache, the teaching of the 12 Apostles, from the Apostolic Fathers, translated by Kersop Lake. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information on a volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Chapter 1. There are two ways, one of life and one of death, and there is a great difference between the two ways. The way of life is this. First, thou shalt love the God who made thee. Secondly, thy neighbor as thyself. And whatsoever thou wouldest not have done to thyself, do not thou to another. Now the teachings of these words is this. Bless those who curse you, and pray for your enemies, and fast for those that persecute you. For what credit is it to you if you love those that love you? Do not even the heathen do the same? But for your part, love those that hate you, and you will have no enemy. Abstain from carnal and bodily lusts. If any man smite thee on the right cheek, turn to him the other cheek also, and thou wilt be perfect. If any man impress thee to go with him 1 mile, go with him 2. If any man take thy coat, give him thy shirt also. If any man will take from thee what is thine, refuse it not, not even if thou canst. Give to every one that asks thee, and do not refuse. For the Father's will is that we give to all from the gifts we have received. Blessed is he that gives according to the mandate, for he is innocent. Woe to him who receives, for if any man receive alms under pressure of need, he is innocent. But he who receives it without need shall be tried as to why he took it, and for what. And being in prison, he shall be examined as to his deeds, and he shall not come out thence until he pay the last farthing. But concerning this it was also said, Let thine alms sweat into thy hands, until thou knowest to whom thou art giving. Chapter 2. But the second commandment of the teaching is this. Thou shalt do no murder. Thou shalt not commit adultery. Thou shalt not commit sodomy. Thou shalt not commit fornication. Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not use magic. Thou shalt not use phylacteries. Thou shalt not procure abortion, nor commit infanticide. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's goods. Thou shalt not commit perjury. Thou shalt not bear false witness. Thou shalt not speak evil. Thou shalt not bear malice. Thou shalt not be double-minded or double-tongued. For to be double-tongued is the snare of death. Thy speech shall not be false or vain, but completed in action. Thou shalt not be covetous or extortionate, nor a hypocrite, nor malignant, nor proud. Thou shalt make no evil plan against thy neighbor. Thou shalt hate no man. But some thou shalt reprove, for some shalt thou pray, and some thou shalt love more than thine own life. Chapter 3. My child, flee from every evil man, and from all like him. Be not proud, for pride leads to murder, nor jealous, nor contentious, nor passionate, for from all these murders are engendered. My child, be not lustful, for lust leads to fornication, nor a speaker of base words, nor a lifter up of the eyes, for from all these is adultery engendered. My child, regard not omens, for this leads to idolatry. Neither be an enchanter, nor an astrologer, nor a magician. Neither wish to see these things, for from them is all idolatry engendered. My child, be not a liar, for lying leads to theft, nor a lover of money, nor vainglorious, for from all these things are thefts engendered. My child, be not a grumbler, for this leads to blasphemy, nor stubborn, nor a thinker of evil, for from all these are blasphemies engendered. But be thou meek, for the meek shall inherit the earth. Be thou long-suffering, and merciful, and guileless, and quiet, and good, and ever fearing the words which thou hast heard. Thou shalt not exalt thyself, nor let thy soul be presumptuous. Thy soul shall not consort with the lofty, but thou shalt walk with righteous and humble men. Receive the accidents that befall to thee as good, knowing that nothing happens without God. Chapter 4. My child, thou shalt remember day and night him who speaks the word of God to thee, and thou shalt honor him as the Lord. For where the Lord's nature is spoken of, there he is present. And thou shalt seek daily the presence of the saints, that thou mayest find rest in their words. Thou shalt not desire a schism, but shalt reconcile those that strive. Thou shalt give righteous judgment. Thou shalt favor no man's person in reproving transgression. Thou shalt not be of two minds, whether it shall be or not. Be not one who stretches out his hands to receive, but shuts them when it comes to giving. Or whatsoever thou hast gained by thy hands, thou shalt give a ransom for thy sins. Thou shalt not hesitate to give, nor shalt thou grumble when thou givest. For thou shalt know who is the good paymaster of the reward. Thou shalt not turn away the needy, but shalt share everything, thy brother, and shalt not say that it is thine own. For if you are sharers in the imperishable, how much more in the things that perish? Thou shalt not withhold thine hand from thy son or from thy daughter, but thou shalt teach them the fear of God from their youth up. Thou shalt not command in thy bitterness thy slave or thine handmaid, who hope in the same God, lest they cease to fear the God who is over you both. For he comes not to call men with respect of persons, but those whom the Spirit has prepared. But do you who are slaves be subject to your master, as to God's representative, in fear and reverence. Thou shalt hate all hypocrisy, and everything that is not pleasing to the Lord. Thou shalt not forsake the commandments of the Lord, but thou shalt keep what thou didst receive, adding nothing to it, and taking nothing away. In the congregation thou shalt confess thy transgressions, and thou shalt not betake thyself to prayer with an evil conscience. This is the way of life. Chapter 5. But the way of death is this. First of all, it is wicked and full of cursing, murders, adulteries, lusts, fornications, thefts, idolatries, witchcrafts, charms, robberies, false witness, hypocrisies, a double heart, fraud, pride, malice, stubbornness, covetousness, foul speech, jealousy, impudence, haughtiness, boastfulness, persecutors of the good, haters of truth, lovers of lies, knowing not the reward of righteousness, not cleaving to the good, nor to righteous judgment, spending wakeful nights, not for good, but for wickedness, from whom meekness and patience is far, lovers of vanity, following after reward, unmerciful to the poor, not working for him who is oppressed with toil, without knowledge of him who made them, murderers of children, corrupters of God's creatures, turning away the needy, oppressing the distressed, advocates of the rich, unjust judges of the poor, altogether sinful. May ye be delivered, my children, from all these. End of chapters 1 through 5.